Hello everyone, welcome back to the show. Today we've got a great guest, Mr. Mikey Motion. He's a stand-up comedian, a seasoned DJ on the rave scene, but you probably know him from videos such as this one.
Just wear my Bergosmera peak jacket, I better take my jacket off, right?
If you enjoy his episode today, you can follow him on Instagram, Facebook and YouTube at Mikey Motion. He's got a great podcast called Bloody Roastin. You should go check it out. And another one, the name escapes me right now. But he's doing Laugh in the Dark at Classic Grand in Glasgow on the 22nd of December, and next year for the Glasgow Comedy Festival he's doing his show Healthy at the Tennent bar on the 29th and the 30th of March, and you can find a link to that on his he'll tell you this at the end of the show. But in the meantime, me and Chris, we're doing the Rum Bongo this Sunday, hosted by Ray Coley, and I'm going to pull up the list. Fuck me, there's a lot of them. Stevie Mitchell, Geeta Blaze, fucking headliners Grant Gunn, hosted by Ray Coley. There's too many to mention. I apologise if I missed you out. But come down on Sunday, that'll be fun. But with that out of the way, Mr. Mikey Motion.
Hello, boys.
Oh, thanks
I made it.
You did. You finally made it, mate. The buzzers are good to you.
You made it here.
I was lost, but I actually met my pal on the bus.
Did you?
Aye.
That's delightful.
My pal stays just there next to the spa, right in the middle. Aye.
Oh, that's ideal.
I haven't seen him in a long time. He's like, what are you doing on this bus? I've got to do a podcast. What's the podcast about?
Well, it's yet to be determined.
I know.
Yet to be determined.
Kind of the idea of it. Just come on and talk shit.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
So you're a comedian?
Aye.
Aye. I was doing a bit of research, and it said that you were 17 years on the hardcore rave scene.
Yes.
Let's talk about that.
Yeah.
Because I'm interested. We're both into music, but I don't know about you, but I'm not big into like EDM stuff. Yeah. Are you at all?
I enjoy it. I just don't follow any of it, man.
Fair, but I've got like one of my best pals. She's massive into, and I don't know which specific genre, but I would love to hear about it.
Aye. So I started. I got my decks when I was 11. Mm-hmm. So I think it was like 1999.
That was when I was born.
Was it? Aye.
99, May 99.
That was my favourite year.
Yes.
No, because you were born, mate, right? No, that was. Well, I actually say that, like, looking back to 1999, I was talking about that the other day there, my pal, and for me, 1999, that year was a whole lifetime for me.
Right.
Thinking back, all the fucking stuff I done, all the stuff I was getting into, the people I met, the music that was it. It was just a brilliant year.
Aye.
Do you know what I mean? That's the year you can't believe I'm going to do this, but start the quoting and sorry for that.
Amazing.
So I was 11, and up until probably for the age I'd say about 7 or 8, I was right into music. And it was my dad that was like, he was into everything.
Aye.
He had vinyl, CDs, tapes, and I would just go in his room and it was just everywhere, and I loved it, and I'd steal wee tapes here and steal a wee CD, and I think when I turned, it might have been 9, he gave me a big massive cabinet that had 2 tape decks, a radio and a vinyl player at the top.
Yeah, man.
So I was like, it was bigger than me. Do you know what I mean? I was like, this is fucking class. So I was into all sorts of shit. I was into like pop. I was into Spice Girls, man.
Who wasn't he?
Right.
Who wasn't he?
Yeah, I was. I was into fucking reggae, into country, Dr. Hook, everything, man, right? Rock. But I started listening to hip hop, and that was my first love. Hip hop, rap, the kind of West Coast stuff, Dre, Snoop Dogg,
Yeah,
Tupac and all that. I was right into that. And I think it was like for my Christmas one year, my auntie would always get us like a CD or a videotape, and I wanted a videotape called Death Row Uncut, Too Gangster for TV. It was called, right? Definitely no for a 10-year-old or an 11-year-old. So it was a video that had it was like these guys in a 6'4" Chevy convertible, and
Amazing.
they were talking about the tunes, and as well they were talking about them, the music videos come on.
Alright.
Oh, that's class.
So it was brilliant, but there was a specific music video in it. It was a guy called DJ Quick. Don't know if you've ever heard of DJ Quick, right?
No, mate.
And it was a tune called Sweet Black Pussy,
Amazing.
right? And
All tunes should be called that.
and it was in a strip club, and it was like the first time I ever saw like tits and nanny, right? And and there was a DJ Quick was in it, and he was scratching.
Yeah.
And I always wondered, listening to rap, what that sound was. It sounded amazing to me. I just loved the sound of that, and I always wondered what it was. And then here I see a guy on these big fucking decks. I didn't know what decks were at the time. He was scratching. I was like, alright, that looks cool as fuck. I want to do that.
Yeah.
So I started asking my mum and dad like every day for a set of decks. I think I asked them for a whole year. And then one day, it was the first day of the summer holidays, I went home for school, and the last day of the summer, you know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
I went home, and there was a set of decks on my bed
Oh my god.
with a big fucking box of records.
Yes.
So I was like, fuck me, man. So I got them all set up, and flicking through the records, it was all, it just like the album covers are cool as fuck. But it was happy hardcore, it was, and bouncy techno, which I knew what it was at the time because I had always had like the bonkers CDs and like, you know, tapes used to get passed about school, rave tapes, but I wasn't really into it. And then when I started flicking through the records, I realised that in these tracks I had a lot of rap samples in them.
Okay. Yeah.
So it kind of, for me, I was like, oh, this is a bit of what I like and something else. And the more I started listening to it, I fell in love with it. And rap get put in the cupboard, and I was just into like proper into like happy hardcore and bouncy techno. And then you'd start going to like into school, and there would be boys for different areas who had decks, they collected vinyl, and the records were rare. Like we didn't have the internet then, so we didn't know the names of tunes.
Right.
And it was like there was a pirate radio station called Active FM in Castlemilk, and everybody tuned into that on a Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Amazing.
Everybody taped it. You go into school, and they had like the rare records. But as I was flicking through the box, I had a lot of them.
Oh shit.
So I started making tapes and passing them about school, and kind of had a wee bit of street cred because of that.
Of course.
And then that's what I wanted to do. Ever since I got decks, as I was getting a bit older, I started playing at parties. So I'd play at like people's 12th birthday parties, people's 16s, so then like, the older people for different schemes would find out, and I would start doing 21st and 30th.
That's amazing.
So I would do that, and then I think I was like, I used to go to Archaeos. I don't know if you remember that, if you're a bit younger than me. So it was quite a notorious nightclub in Glasgow on Queen Street.
What was it called?
Archaeos. So it was a crazy place. It's basically where every young team in Glasgow went to fight on a Saturday night and listen to it. And it was I've been to raves all the world. I've played at raves all the place, and nothing quite beats Archaeos under still.
That night.
Just the I don't know what it was, like just walking into the place. For a start, it was a karate club, some complex, right? It had many different rooms. The main room was called the Round Room,
Right.
and it had a huge big stage where the DJs would play some live, like hardcore bands would play, and as I said, it was just fucking every different young team for every area in Glasgow would be there, and it was just
mental.
wild. Like
That's mad, is that it?
That's it there, aye.
Mad atmosphere going on
Honestly, mate, it was fucking mental.
That looks insane.
So, and that was full every weekend. And that was the unders. So I think I started going there when I was about 12, 13.
That looks fucking brilliant, mate.
That's it there, man. So I started going there, and that was like my first rave experience, and hearing the tunes loud, seeing the DJ. So I mean, I would go and I would just be like, just watching up at the stage, and I'd be like, I want to be up there. Mm-hmm. I want to be the guy who's up on that stage, and I just didn't know how to get into it or anything like that. So as I said, I just kept making tapes and stuff. I was playing at these parties, and then in 2004 there was a DJ competition in Glasgow. It was called the New Breed DJ competition. So I entered into that, and there was loads of people in it, and I was playing like a happy hardcore, bouncy techno, a kind of newer form of hardcore that was coming through, and it was vinyl we were playing, but there was people playing like dance, house, hard house, a lot of different genres, but I ended up somehow getting right through to the final, and I came second. So it was good, man. It was like, it was heats every week, and I was getting to play in there.
Oh,
right. So it was like I said, there was like, how many rooms were in our chaos? So there was Yang, down the stair, 2, 3. There was about 9 rooms, right? The 2 main rooms were Betty's, that was down the stair, and then the round room was up the stair. So the competition was in Betty's, and as I said, I just loved it, and all my pals loved it as well. So I used to take like 60, 70, sometimes 80. And everybody wanted to go and support you.
It's the place to be, man.
Yeah, but that was, it was the place to be. So done that, came second, and I started kind of getting offers for other nights, other rave events, and I got offered to play in our chaos in the round room, where I always wanted to play, and it was for a night called Twisted and Brainfire, and I played there, then ended up becoming the resident, and I've been the resident since then.
That's amazing.
Aye,
you still doing it?
Aye, mate, aye.
Oh,
I still
sweet.
DJ, aye.
That's so cool. You did the dream, mate. You did the dream.
I did, mate. I did. Like people always talk about manifestation and all that shit. And I do believe. I do it every day, right? And I don't want to. It's one of the ones like I've said this before, but I was there's lots. I was just dreaming.
Yeah.
Just dreaming.
Just putting it out there.
And then you put your mind towards something, you somehow get on the path to be there. So I started doing that, and then because I was the resident for Twisted and Brainfire, they done a lot of tours, so I started playing for, in different clubs all the UK. So every weekend we were somewhere different in the UK on the bus. But it was. I try and explain this feeling like you're in a band.
You're
in a band.
Music,
right? So you play, right, and before you were in a band, did you go to gigs? Did you go to a lot of events, right? And you there's nothing better when you go somewhere and it's a band that you love, right, and the sound system is just amazing.
Yeah, that matters.
And you stand in the front and you can feel it. It's a feeling, right? And I don't know if it's different for the feeling that I get. It's all music, right? But I call it the ravey feeling, right? Hardcore feeling, because it's just I used to try and describe it to my wee brother. I used to come back for raves, and he was like, he would be 15 at the time, and I'd be like, you need to come to this. You need to feel this feeling. It's just it goes right through you, and you just turn around and everybody's I can't explain it. Like, I look like, and I did try to explain it, right? And then I remember taking my brother to a rave. We went to Spain for an event called HDID in the Sun, so it's like a week-long festival. And he was 17 at the time. My mum and my dad let him come. You better look after him. And then we were just in the middle, just hearing it and we allowed to talk about drugs on this podcast?
Yeah.
100%.
Full of the good old eckies,
Yeah, man.
right? The good old
The good
ecstasy.
old ones.
Yes, man.
You
And then-
fangled shite.
Aye. And then I just looked at him and I done that. This is what I'm talking about. And he's like,
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
So it's a brilliant feeling, but I loved it. So every weekend, if there was gigs up in Glasgow, it would be travelling, just like Birmingham, Manchester, Liverpool, Swindon,
Yeah, man.
every, like Shepton Mallet, which is at the fucking bottom of the universe. I swear, like, 13 hours on a bus.
I'll take you anywhere.
13 hours on a bus this was to get here, and
Jeez.
we would leave for George Square, like 50 hours on a bus. 13 hours down, so you're fucked already.
That's
Aye.
emotional already. That's
12
quite
make it
emotional.
there.
Aye. Honestly, mate, right? And you're taking, I mean, you're on the bus for an hour and you're already full of eckies.
Aye.
You're on the wine, everybody's taking gear.
Aye.
And
That's tonic for international viewers.
yes. And then you get to the rave and it's only 9 o'clock at night, and then the rave's on to 6 in the morning,
Fuck, man.
and then the bus is 13 hours back. So it's a full scale.
Operation right there.
Aye, and
100%.
I fucking loved it, mate.
Yeah.
So that I'll never stop doing it. Through lockdown, obviously that was a big part. The usual know, you know, if you had any gigs booked or anything like that. But I was booked to play in Magaluf for a week,
Gutting, man.
and because that rave I was talking about, HDID in the Sun, that was the first ever event of that, and then I ended up getting booked for the rest of them.
Right.
So I played at them, and then that stopped, and then we started playing in Ibiza for 6 years, and then it was moving on to Magaluf, and then COVID came, and then everything just fell on its arse, and I kind of fell away from it a wee bit because I'd started comedy in 2018,
Sure. Yeah.
and I was sticking into that. But the bookings are starting to come back. I'll never stop loving it, and I'll always enjoy playing at a rave. Do you know what I mean? So
How do you think you're going to balance getting back to that and keeping your comedy going? Now that you've got good momentum in comedy. as
aye,
well.
well, I'm basically that's my main focus now, is comedy. I don't need to worry about DJing. I've done it for that long. I don't get nervous before I play. I just enjoy it. So if I get booked for a gig, I'll go and do it. If I get a comedy booking in, I'll weigh what's worth my while here.
Yeah.
What's worth me got to do the gig or the comedy or the DJing. But I'll be fine with it. Do you know what I mean?
I reckon so, especially if you've got so many years trying to schedule that shit around, I'm presuming a normal life
Aye.
as well. Do you know what I mean? Like try to,
Aye, because that's what it was. It was every week in work, Monday to Friday, you're daydreaming
yeah.
all week. I'm not even just shit in every job.
Aye. Just not
Right,
there.
it's just money. You're just winding everybody up in the place. You're no really
I can
doing what you,
Aye,
you're
same.
not doing what you're supposed to do. Like I got sacked for jobs just because I just was always want to have a laugh.
Aye.
Do you know what I mean? Like one manager says to me, he's like, "Look, everybody loves you here. We love you, but funny's no good enough.
Yeah.
You're not doing what you're supposed to be doing, man."
Aye. Fuck them.
Do you know what I mean? So like,
That's hard not to shit on you for that, mate.
Aye.
'Cause I think funny is good enough.
I know, mate. I know. It's like
You know.
I'm keeping the spirits going here. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly. Morale is very important.
Of course, mate, but people don't know
100%.
that, right? Like, there's so many places I worked in. I left school as soon as I turned 16, and I started working in a factory, Menzies Distribution, so
Oh,
the
right.
big paper magazine
Yeah,
factory. So I started working in there, and I just got comfortable with it, and I started. You know, I done every job in the place, not because I was good, because they kept moving me, like from bit to bit, and I lasted 10 years.
Off.
So that was a long time.
Did hopscotch for 10 years.
Aye.
Nice.
Do you know what I mean?
That's
That's
not bad.
that's
That's
exactly
not
what I was
bad.
doing, right? From one place to another. What was I saying? Aye, we getting back to the morale sort of thing.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't believe I worked in there for so long, because it was a great place to work for the people that I met. It was always a laugh. It was always so funny. There was hundreds of different characters, but every single fucking manager in that place was an arsehole.
Yeah.
Proper. And they didn't do anything to pick you up, but they was just always telling people their shit. You can't tell people their shit all day long and expect them to do a good job.
Nah.
And that, when I started working in a lot of call centres, and it was the same. And you need that. You need that in a place. But
It's like, it's almost, it's one thing just being the comic relief, but it's another thing like having to actively deal with yourself getting shat on while trying to keep everybody else chuffed.
Aye.
That's a bitch of a situation to find yourself in.
I'm no scared to say this, man, but there was a good few times and when I worked in places, I went home greeting.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Because I knew I wasn't supposed to be there.
Yeah.
I've got learning difficulties, know what I mean? And I kind of sailed, I didn't get any help. I just kind of sailed through life, just dealing with it. And I like people telling you what to do all the time and constantly breathing down your neck, and you're kind of walking on eggshells and you're trying to be funny as well. So I used to go home like depressed, man. Like
Saps your
what
soul.
the fuck am I doing here? The best thing I've ever done was, I think it was like 3 years ago, was just decide that I'm never working again for anybody. I'll just get by somehow.
I recently made the same decision because the past 3 or 4 jobs I've lost out of like diving into bad mental health. And
mate.
One job in particular, the fucker, he's a sly bastard, fuck him. Didn't have me sign a contract, but it was all sweet talk, and I took a week off for to just recuperate. I was not doing well. Went back and he was like, no shifts for you. We can sit and talk about it. And I was like, nah, you're good.
Nah, don't talk to scum. Thank you very much.
See, my timekeeping as well, I was always late. Even if I tried my fucking hardest
Preach it.
to be early, I was always late all the time.
Yeah.
And then actually got a job working from home.
Oh.
And I got the sack for being late.
In your own house.
In my own house.
That's fucking amazing.
I get the sack for timekeeping and lateness, and I was working from home.
Well, but
that's not even a joke.
No,
that is true.
I love that.
Mate, I relate.
Honestly, mate.
I relate so
we need to
much.
let you go.
Mate.
The washing's on.
If we had a boss, we'd be fucked. Because the past, not this time, but was it the past 2 times?
Yeah.
The last time a guest woke me up from chapping on the door, and the time before that, you woke me up with the other guest chapping on the door. So I can relate, mate. I can totally relate.
The thing is, it's like the way I'm only like into things that I'm interested in.
Yeah.
Anything else is just, I'm no
noise.
The only thing I'm never late for is a gig. Never been late for a gig. I've never been late for a comedy gig. I'm always there early. And I'm like, well, that shows that
you're interested.
I'm interested in. Do you know what I mean?
Definitely.
That's it. It's like I'm into that, so I'm going to make sure I'm not late. But I don't know. I just hated fucking working, man. Pain in the ass.
I had a moment when I was, I think it was early 20s, where I was just already fucking sick of working. I was going to uni. I was working. I was doing this and that and the other. I remember saying to my mum and dad, I was just like, "What? Like, is this just forever?" And they're like, "Aye." I'm like forever. Like, there's no stop. And they're like, "No." I'm like, I don't fucking want this. I never asked for this.
I know, it's fucked up.
That's a fucking painful existence.
Just pure slavery, man.
Man.
Mate, the cringiest example of this for me was I was still a teenager at the time, and I was like right before like my really biggest bad spot where I ended up homeless and stuff. But I was working at doing like bar work at one of the biggest venue in Glasgow, the Hydro. And before, I was like so anxious before the shift, so I had a joint and I walked in, and before every shift the folk the cash folk, they come through and they give you bags to fill out the stuff, and you need to write your employee number. And I just sat there nearly pure hyperventilating. I was like, I'm not a fucking number. All this shit. Put all my stuff, handed it back. I was like, I can't do this anymore. Walked out. The manager came up to me and was like, you okay? And I was like, yeah, just this
Because you
isn't for me
had
anymore.
a joint as well.
I was just
He was talking to you. He was like, you're not a number, man. Right? Like you right? Because it does. You realise a lot of shit. Do you know what I mean?
100%.
When you're high, man, it's like.
You're better than this. This is cosmically, you're in the wrong place, right? But you know this.
Exactly. And I grew up in like punk and stuff, so I just had Joe Strummer going, you bet me, you know your rights. All that shit. I know my rights.
That's what it is. You're just daydreaming like all day long. I was. My head was out the window when I was younger. It was about DJing at these raves, like listening to the tapes for the raves, like for my favourite DJs, and just walking about and just visualising myself like doing this and getting booked for different things, and then that moved on to like the comedy. Like, oh really, what and then you're just writing material all day long. I'm sitting with a fucking pad, supposed to worst cunt with money, me, right? Worst cunt with money.
Me too.
Debt up to my eyeballs, right? And I was a financial advisor.
Oh my god! So you knew what you were doing wrong.
I was they actually made me a manager, right? I'm no kidding on, right? This place, I'm not even got to fucking say the name of the place, right? But I worked for this company, and it was just the patter.
Yeah.
It was just like I could talk my way into things, and I got this job. I was working on the phones for like a month. Started at Christmas time, just the start of December, and it was all sales orientated, and I was like, right, I need this fucking Christmas money, I need to get this bonus, and I ended up finishing at the top of the table. So you got like extra bonus and all that shit, so I was like, fuck, I can maybe do this, but again, a month or two, lost interest. Just couldn't be annoyed with it. And then I went for a manager job in the place, and they took me off the phones, and I was in control of all the different teams. That lasted about 2 years. Do you know what I mean? And that was a pain in the ass as well, but I can't remember how I got into that there.
It's a hard choice to make though, to turn around and give up stable employment.
Aye.
For a dream, as Disney as that sound, it's for a dream, you know.
I know, it is, mate. It's like I just, every night I would get home and I would be like physically drained. Physically drained, and then I want to kill this cunt. Like talking about my managers. I fucking hate this prick. Do you know what I mean? And it was I just didn't like it, mate. And then the last straw for me was getting a sack for being late, working from home. And you're like, and I was like, nah, I just need to try.
I'm no good at this, man.
Aye, throw myself into gigs and just keep doing that. Then I ended up running a comedy club for 2.5 years, the Vibe Room.
Nice, man.
So I'd basically done everything in there. I was booking the acts, doing the flyers, the artwork. I was hosting the show. I was working behind the bar. I was fucking doing the sound. I was doing everything. And then we ended up like that was every Thursday. But we also done like band nights, and we done these dance classes, DJ lessons, and all that shit. So that was actually good. That didn't feel like work to me, because I was actually doing a lot of stuff that I loved.
Part of a project.
Do you know what I mean?
Aye, sure.
That, and it was the first time I ever worked behind a bar as well. We had a techno night on, a hard techno night, and I was like basically just doing the sound tech, doing the lights and all that, and it was rammed. And the manager, it was my pal Dawn, she was like, I need you on the bar. And I'm like, I can't count.
Aye.
I've never worked a bar. She's like, just follow me, I'll show you what today, don't panic. And I swear to God, I fucking loved it.
Yeah.
Because it was, honest to God, so therapeutic working on the bar, because you've not got a fucking minute to think about anything. So I was taking an order, going and getting it, much as that, bing bing, the till does it all for you, back, next. I loved it, and it flew in. So I started working on the bar every Tuesday night and a Wednesday night, and sometimes a Thursday. And it didn't feel like work to me.
That's good.
Do you know what I mean? I enjoyed it. If it's something you enjoy, then you're laughing.
My dad always said, if you find a job you love, you'll never work a day in your life.
That's it, aye.
100%.
You know,
That's
like,
it, mate. That's it.
So true.
I burnt myself out with bar work. I think it was the first job I got when I was 18, and it's the only job I've done
Right.
So just in different places.
Ah, right.
And then I did it a lot in like Arsfuck Nowhere in North Ayrshire.
Right.
And see, having
Queen
to
little town.
Aye, and I'm not into football at all.
Near man,
So
mate. Basil Bowley, it's the only thing I know about football.
so what I would do to
I don't know if you'll know who that is, but
No. For me,
even
it's
know
like
that,
I don't know if you can tell for the fucking colour scheme, but the only cunt I really could tell you is like Henrik Larsson.
Right,
and
there you go.
That's about it.
Aye.
But
that was Basil Bowley's rival. Right, it's just
I think you two should fight now that you've brought them up to names. Only way to settle this, boys.
fuck, what was I saying? I kept on doing this yesterday.
Yeah, you do.
talking about bars, you burnt yourself out.
Aye,
Thank
so
fuck you here,
thank
mate.
you.
Mate, my
Appreciate
memory's
it.
shite, I don't know why I remembered that.
a lucky one. But aye, bars. Aye, so to entertain myself when they were like talking about football, I would just make like homoerotic humour,
Right.
and just make them so uncomfortable.
Right,
And
aye.
I would just go into the back pashing myself. It's like that wee bald guy who used to be in the army who like definitely wants to kill every person who hasn't this colour of his shirt, which is white.
Aye.
It's raging at me right now, and it was great. That was the only joy I had.
Aye.
But there was those times when it's like really fast.
Aye.
It's good, but it's the dealing with the managers after it. It's the back house shit. I think those times when you're just doing it a couple of days a week for your own
Aye.
show, that would be.
Aye,
that
well, it
would
was
be fun.
class, man. Just going back to what you says there about like making wee jokes when they're talking about football. It's what I do. I grew up loving football.
Right.
That's all I used to do. Like as soon as I came from school, I played for some football teams and that. My dad loves football. My dad's always been a football player. My brother's a good player. So me and my mates would be playing every day. I loved it up to a certain point. Like when I got into music, fell away from it. Can't be into everything. I find one thing and obsess over it.
Oh, I'm the same.
And but what I would do is, so Basil Bowley was a guy who played with Rangers in the 90s, right? A French guy, a French black guy, and I just thought Basil Bowley, I thought that name was funny as fuck because
brilliant.
it rhymes with Tolly. So if I was going for a shite, you'd say I'm away for a Basil Bowley, right? So that was always funny to me, right? And then, so I like, he stopped playing for Rangers fucking years ago, but I'll find that this is a bit I do, like not on the stage, like,
Right,
but
right.
just for
Socially.
just to make me laugh, right?
Freelance.
People will be talking about Celtic, Rangers, or the Champions League. I've not got a fucking clue.
Yeah.
And then they'll be talking, and then they'll be looking at me for my opinion. I'll just do that, Basil Bowley. That's it. I just. And I always usually get a laugh, right? Because people who know football know who Basil Bowley is.
Right.
But I started just writing Basil Bowley on Facebook every day and just like making me Basil Bowley jokes. And my brother went out and bought me a France tap with Bowley on the back.
Amazing, mate.
And he bought me a Basil Bowley calendar. I mean, I don't even like Rangers. I support Celtic. Do you know what I mean? It's fucking.
I just only support Basil.
Aye, but that's it. But that's what it is. I support Basil Bowley. That's my guy. Because he's just got a funny name, man. Know what I mean? There was actually a joke. Do you want me to tell you?
Please.
Right.
Oh, please
So
do, mate.
I remember there was this wee guy who was in my class in school, and he told me a joke, a Basil Bowley joke, right? So shite, but it's just good, right? So he says, so Basil Bowley goes in for football training one day, and he goes in, and his wife is lying on the bed, and she's like, "Oh, Basil, I got a tattoo for you." And he's like, "All right, let me see." She's like, "Where'd you get it?" And she's like, "I got it on my arse." So she got a B on one cheek for Basil and a B on the other for Bowley. And he's like, "Well, let me see then." And she bends her and he's like, "Who the fuck's Bob?" Right, so shite. But I heard that in primary 6.
Low key shit.
Do you know what I mean, man?
Oh, mate,
Who the fuck's Bob?
I love old like
Same.
fucking primary school jokes. Like, I remember.
They're so good.
Amazing, man.
That's so funny. This is the simple form.
My dad told me a cracker yesterday.
Aye.
He's like that. But my dad tells jokes as if it's happened to him. So you half believe him.
Yeah, my dad does the same. It's brutal.
He's
It's an
like,
age thing, mate.
So I was in the bank today. My eyes like fucking hell. Said I was standing in this big queue and there was this woman at the front of the queue going off her nut. She had a tenner in that ear, rolled up, and a tenner in that ear. She was going off her nut, and my dad got up to the counter, and my dad's like to the guy, what's all that about? And the guy, the bank clerk says, oh, that woman, she had £20 in her ears. Do you know what I mean? It's a pure dad joke.
Jesus.
I know, mate.
He's my bomb.
I know, man. I know.
Jesus.
Fucking.
The worst ones I remember, like the primary school jokes, is I remember once we did a gig, like one of our first, like my old band's first gig, with another younger band, and the singer in the band was in like P7 at the time,
Right.
and he was like, "Yo, what's the saddest thing in the world?" And you're like, "What?" And he's like, "Putting a baby in the oven and singing "Burn, Baby, Burn." Like jokes like that, and you're like, I remember just being like, mate, I was like, primary school, pal, what are you doing? He's like, oh, I'm in primary school. And you're like, oh, fair enough. You just don't look it.
Up it a bit, mate. For fuck's sake.
It was hilarious.
Have some respect for the art form.
So when did you get into comedy? And it's like 2018, you said?
2018 is when I started doing like, stand-up. Before that, I think, just for a young age, I used to go to my gran's and we would watch Scotch and Rye. Don't know if you know Ricky Fulton. So it's old sketch shows. So it was like Scotch and Rye. There's a sketch show called The Naked Video.
Right, okay.
Where it was Gregor Fisher, who's Rabsy Nisbet.
Right.
So they were just wee sketches at the time. And then it formed into Rabsy Nisbet.
Right.
So it was all that kind of Scottish humour. Also watching things like Only Fools and Horses, Mr. Bean, all that shit. That's all we watched in my gran's.
Yeah.
And then I would like try and do wee characters and like mimic them.
Yeah.
And like make them laugh and all that shit. And then in school, I was just known as the wacky, silly, funny cunt.
Aye.
And that's all I really knew. To fit in with people, I was just, didn't matter who it was. Like where I grew up, it was rough. And when I went into high school, it's either sink or swim.
Yeah.
Now I'm a wee guy. When I was like 11, 12, I was tiny.
Yeah.
And like the boys I was in, and I was the youngest in my year, so these boys were all like men size.
Yeah.
And they were all fucking mental.
Aye.
And to fit in with them, I would just like kind of maybe slag some of them.
Aye.
And just like do wee jokes, and then they would like me, and then that's how I got in with everybody.
Aye.
So I always like knew. And then obviously watching like Billy Connolly and all that, I used to, me and my pal, my brother, we're only wee guys, man. Like we used to, like my pal would stay with us or whatever, and we'd have Billy Connolly tapes on, and with three we'd be greeting on the bed with sore stomachs, like seriously, like like dying. Aye, man, and all that was just amazing. And then people would always say, like my teachers were always like, oh, you should be a comedian and all that shit, and people always say you should try it, but I never ever really knew there was a scene.
Yeah.
Growing up, I thought it was Billy Connolly, then you get a bit older, Frankie Boyle, Kevin Bridges. I thought there was only 3 comedians in Scotland.
I was
Do you know what I mean?
I was
Didn't
the same,
know
man.
anything else. And then when camera phones came out, 2003, 4 maybe, the earliest ones, videoing myself and sending it to people via Bluetooth. Videos gone viral.
Fucking infrared and that shit between phones.
All that kind of shit. Aye, mate, like that. Once I realised that I can actually be funny, doing something silly and stupid, and then other people can see it, and then people say, oh, that was good. You get a wee buzz off of that.
Aye.
You get a wee, oh yes, my daddy never told me he loved me. Yum, yum, yum. Give me more of that. Right?
Aye.
So that was that. And then, as I said, it was like Bebo. Just putting stupid characters on Bebo.
That's amazing.
And then Facebook came out, and then every single day I would write a joke, and every day I would post a video.
Yeah.
So they started some of them started going quite viral.
You certainly did. I'll fucking interject here, man.
Aye.
One of your famous ones, which I'm sure you're sick as fuck of, is your Burgos sketch, mate.
Aye, mate.
Before you came in here, we were talking to another guy, Roger Gunn, who you met briefly, and I'd mentioned that you were coming in afterwards, and Roger sat forward with his very sexy voice and went, you're aware of who that is, you do know. I was like, no. I said, well, I've seen him. I saw him at the Edinburgh Fringe. He was like, yeah. Have you seen that video with the Bergos? And mate, my fucking head nearly exploded.
Aye.
Like honestly, like
That's it.
I come out to take my jacket off because I can't stand it. Wear my belt gosh man, I pick jacket, I better take my jacket off.
fucking voice, bro.
That feels like a belt. You know what I mean? That's the smart love my jacket, I love the belt gosh jacket, and then I take I like this one as well, because you can do that fun if you want to go for something else sometimes. So even if you want to try it.
I hate it. This is-
You must hate this now.
I know people love it, right?
Yeah,
The thing is, before that, right, I was actually putting like time and effort into sketches and
Yeah.
trying to like think outside the box.
Mm-hmm.
And then with that, it was basically I was doing these posts on Facebook, right, and it just came from nowhere. Like Bergos, it was a dying brand. It was
Yeah.
just a 90s thing, right? Like maybe the odd T-shirt was cool, but when you saw somebody with an original Mera Peak jacket on, it was usually like a wee Alki or some Jakey,
Yeah.
and I would take a picture and I'd post it on Facebook, and I started this thing called Bergie spotting, right? So I used to post it up. So when that went kind of caught on, anybody on my Facebook, any of my followers, if they saw somebody with a Bergos on, they would take a picture, and I was the point master.
Amazing.
So they would send me like many points, and I would say, right, that's in Brigton, that's a thing, mate, a 1996 Bergos. You guys get a cannon he's on, that's 200 points, right? So that caught on, and there was people sending me them for Canada and all that, mate, right? England, honestly, right?
International, bro.
So that was a thing.
Yeah.
So there was something brewing. There was something there, and it's stupid as fuck.
Yeah,
but that's
yeah.
me just silly, right?
That's what's so funny about it, man.
Aye, it's just silly shit, right? And people seem to like it, right?
Yeah, 100%.
So that was happening. So I was DJing in Ibiza. I think it might have been 2015, 16 maybe. And I'm like, right, I'm going to put my Bergos in my suitcase. I'm going to do something stupid. Right?
Amazing.
So I took it out, and it was scorching, obviously, Ibiza. And there was like this big row of deck chairs. There was like 8 or 9 birds, all looking brilliant.
Yeah.
Bikinis on, looking great. And I just jumped in between them with my Bergos on, like as if I'm sunbathing, right? Oh no. Now my pal, who's got a big DJ, Rob the Rhythm, he took a picture of that, tagged me in it, and wrote many points. So that just went fucking mental.
Amazing.
Everybody was sharing it. So that was something again. And then I knew I had like fucking a good few Bergos jackets, right?
Did fucking you say, man?
The red
Jesus
one,
Christ.
the red one, right? So that's what happened. I was mad with it on a Friday night. I'd finished work. I used to go to a pub in the town called Denham's.
Right.
That was my local. Hit there. Don't care who's coming.
Right.
I'm gone. Right.
Okay.
And I'd go there and I'd be on the karaoke all night, hogging the karaoke, loving it. Right. So I was talking to this lassie I know, Fisco Bride, and she was like, you want to come up to mine? So I got a taxi up to hers, sitting in hers getting a bevy, and she's like, you're going to love this. I'm like, what? She's like, I've got a Bergos Mera Peak in the cupboard. I'm like, what one? She's like, the red one. And I'm like, get it out. And she's like, right, wear it and all that shit. And I'm like, right, cool. And I was like, by the way, I'm taking this, right? And she's like, aye, so she let me take it. So doing the house, burst on the Saturday, no, it was a Sunday morning. I think I'd been up hers for the weekend, for the Friday, and I went home on the Sunday morning with that. And I went in the house and I thought, right, I honest to fucking God don't know how it came about. It just happened. I just knew I was going to do something. So I put all the jackets on, and I says to my brother, Steve-O, I was always like to him, right, you video this. He's like, right, well, for hundreds of different things. He was like, right, cool. He's like,
He was just on point.
He was on point. He's like, I've got a taxi coming, right? And I'm like, right. He's like, And then he just started recording, and that's what happened.
Glorious.
So it was a Sunday, and I posted it on Facebook, and I'm no kidding on, it went mental.
Yeah.
Like straight out, like people were fucking phoning me and texting me, like fucking hell, what's happening here? And it just kept going up and up and up and up and up. And then I put it on my artist page. Yeah, that was on my normal Facebook. Then I put it on my Mikey Motion page, and it went even further.
Right.
And then Unilad got in contact, and they wanted it. And then that's when it fucking blew up on a Sunday. And me and my mate Sean, were sitting on his bed and reading all the comments, and the amount of people that were slaughtering me for all the world, mate. Right? Look at the state of this guy. Is that the way he talks? He's not right. Right? Somebody wrote, I've never seen somebody take Jacob's ass and get fatter if they take them ass. Right? There was so much shit, and I was just like howling, greeting, and my mate was like, you've created a monster, Michael.
Amazing.
And then I just started.
You really
up.
have, mate. See, fucking all fucking roast. I do such a shit impression of it. My mate Nick does
A good one.
Nick, he's fucking here, mate. Like I say, like that. Genuinely, that video has fueled so much fucking bullshit.
Because everywhere I was going, right, people were phoning me. Like, ain't you my pal? Sure you're my pal. And I'm like, I did a voice then, right?
Oh, for
and it was
fuck's
getting
sake.
mad. Like people were saying, I was on a flight to Ibiza, and everybody on the thing with large blood, a roaster, and everywhere I went, and then I was getting on buses. People were looking at me turning round, and they were looking at me, and I had a bear goss on. They were like,
hold on,
is that you? I'm like, aye, like, not isn't that's no you. And I'm like, it's no then. Like, aye, it is. Right? Taking my way into school.
What do you want?
People like, taking my way into school in the morning, people like, oh, mate, my missus loves you, got to do the voice the phone. Like,
Yeah.
do the voice, come on, do the voice. I'm like, right, alright.
Fine.
Standing in McDonald's in the urinal. Can I get a picture? I'm like, aye, on you go, mate. Honestly, it was. I hated it for a long time.
Yeah,
and then sometimes I'll go through the comments on the Unilad thing, and the majority is all people laughing and saying, "Oh, this video," and then I think, right, well, people like it, so I started to lean into it for a wee bit, and I started. I was doing it live. I done it, did Bergie Boy live, and I was getting booked to DJ's Bergie Boy.
Yeah.
I was getting fucking booked to do it
Keith
live.
Lemon situation.
Do you know what I mean, mate?
For it, innit?
And I was like, fuck me, man. And then, it's mental the way it all came about. Do you know what I mean?
It's just, mate, it's the weirdest things. The fact that, like, obviously I didn't see you do your stand up,
Aye.
and I was already like, oh, fucking class, Mikey's coming in. And I was like, that class is really good. And then when Roger dropped out on me, I was just like,
Aye.
get yourself to fuck. And I don't know how I've met you in person.
Aye.
I've watched this for
Yeah.
fucking years.
Aye.
Fucking years
It's a
on a
beard.
monthly basis.
I mean, years later, about 3 years ago, I was working in a place, and there was this guy, and he was like, oh mate, he's like, that's my boy. He's like, my boy, and all his wee pals love your video and all that, and they all do the voice, and
Yeah.
he's like, gonna get a picture with me so I can show them. So I was like, I no bother. So I took a picture with him, and he showed it to his wee boys, his boy and all his pals, and they came in the next day, and he's like, he said, that's no you. I'm like, how? He says, Bergie Boy's not got a beard. That's years ago, do you know what I mean?
Like, fucking, I was trying, bro. Back up.
How many jackets was it?
Several.
one,
I think it's like fucking 7 or something,
two,
including t-shirts and that.
Let's see.
3, I think it's only like 4. People say there's 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5 maybe in a Bear Goss t-shirt at the end.
3.
But the thing is, I've got fucking so much more than that now. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Of course you do, man.
I've got like people have gave me Bear Gosses and all that now. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, aye.
Oh,
So that's why with the podcast starting back up, the new podcast, I just thought, let's lean into that a wee bit.
Why not, man?
Do you know what I mean? It's like people. I'm not that character on that, but it's kind of. It's just like people know that and like it, and I thought maybe it'll give me a wee boost in the podcast, do you know what I mean? And
It's a cultural icon.
get the
mate.
guests on and sit with Bergossies on and that, and just fucking mix and match up.
Mate, you get yourself a fucking 6XL, I'm there, brother.
I've actually got one, mate. I have,
He's
man.
so
aye.
sweet with that. I'll be
Do
there.
you know what? There was this guy messaged me. He's like, by the way, he's like, this guy, he was a bin man.
Yeah.
Right? And he's like, I was going, there was a Bergos in a bin. Do you want it? And I was like, what one is it? He's like, Triangle Extreme. I'm like, geez it, I'll wash that.
That's a 30-pointer right
Honestly, I washed it and it's a fucking peach. It's far too big for me, but it's just good to have. It's a
just-
classic jacket, mate. Do you know
Just
what I mean?
to have it there.
Something you can use potentially in a
Aye,
sequel, you
definitely.
know?
It'll be the one that I put on last. Do you know what I mean? With all the other
The
Bergos.
one that's keeping you all in the coating, if you will, you know, the icing on the cake.
Top layer, mate.
Exactly, mate.
Bergos onion.
Definitely. aye.
I really hope it is brown.
Bergoses are like onions.
Fucking roasted.
Aye. So that was that, and
Yeah, man.
I actually, like I said, I wanted to do it right at the stand up, and back in 2012, I was going to go and do it. Like I said, I didn't know there was open mics. I didn't know anything like that, so I thought, right, I just need to put my night on.
Yeah.
So I made a flyer. Mikey stands up. That's what it says on it, right? And I know.
I like it.
Aye, and it was just like a picture of me in between the high-rise flats at my bit, and I was going to have it in the local pub, and I didn't do it. That was the first, idea of me doing it, and then when all this stuff was kicking off, I thought, I need to take this to the next level. I can't keep just doing videos. Like, well, I'm not going to, not just about making money, but if it's something I really want to do, maybe like, if I can do that live and make money off it, then this is my chance to get out of work.
Aye.
This is like that. This is thinking to myself, like, this is what I should have been doing fucking years ago.
Yeah.
I've wasted a lot of fucking time and energy in working in these places. So, it was just 2018. I decided to put on a show, and I'd had no clue. I'd been watching a lot of stand-up stuff and a lot of how to and the basics and all that stuff, so I kind of had a wee idea. So I put on a show, and this just shows you how stupid I was. It was an hour show for my first, right, come on, right, it's like laughable, right,
Fucking hopefully, man.
right, like, it was like, and it was in a pub, the Ranza in Black Hill,
Right.
which is a crazy fucking place, right? So I put the night on, had a flyer made, and the first half an hour, I was going to be just doing me, jokes, bits of patter, stuff like that.
Aye.
And then the second half, I was got to come back as Bergie Boy and do the
Right.
Bergie Boy thing. So had loads of mates there, loads of people I didn't know who came, and I just remember going up at the start. And by the way, I was on 2CB, which is basically like
Lovely.
acid,
Yeah, yeah.
gear,
On
and-
stage, bro.
aye, boozing.
Fucking hell.
Because that's just what I done at the weekends. Do you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
And I that's what I done at raves. Every rave I ever went to, I was always like the most madweight raver there, even though I was DJing.
That's amazing.
Do you know what I mean? I was.
You
I would
can't
get
beat
kicked.
them,
Out,
join-
I used to get
committed
kicked.
to the culture.
I used to get kicked out of clubs before I'd even played. Numerous times. I used to fall asleep on the decks. I used to honestly, I'd wake up outside the club like blanked out, be like, "Fuck, I'm on." Bouncers like that. No, you've been kicked out, mate.
And you're like,
That happened a lot, mate. It happened a lot, right? I used to black out drunk, fucking a lot of times. So that I just took that into comedy. I just thought it was the same. Oh, I'm on the stage. I'll fucking fuck it. People think I'm right. It wasn't the right thing to do. So I done that. I went up, and I remember telling a few stories and a few jokes and getting wee smithers of laughs. And then there was a point where I just blanked out, and I was like, "Fuck." Shit, this is. I thought it was going to be easy. I just thought it was funny, and that's it.
aye.
It's a completely different thing for
Yes.
making your pals laugh. It's a different thing for being funny online.
I agree with that.
Yous know, yous have done it, so it's a different thing altogether. There's so much in it.
It's an art form. It really
So
is an art form.
it's just no going up and eventually you want to just be able to go up and just talk, and that's where you found your voice and all that shit.
Yeah.
But it takes a lot to get there.
Yeah.
Aye.
So I done that, and then I was embarrassed, man. I went away, put the Bergos jackets on. Everybody loved it. Everybody was all howling because I was walking about tables just slaughtering people in that voice.
Aye.
Right.
Everybody had already invested in the character.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter what you say, as long
It's
as you're
gonna be
taking
funny.
a wee jacket off here and there and throwing the voice in.
Aye.
And I thought, right, that's something. That's something. And then as soon as I'd done that, I just started hitting the open mics. Got to the Salsa Cafe and stuff like that.
Yeah.
There was one in Rutherglen. There was one in Burnside, just right next to kind of where I'm fae.
Yeah.
And I was doing that, and then I started kind of getting booked for things, and then just threw myself right into it. And
Class.
It's
Aye.
worked out, man. That's fucking class.
aye, I love it now. It's like I've been sober for 3 years now. So I sober 3 weeks ago. That was my 3 year sober.
Nice.
Congratulations.
Cheers,
Congrats,
man.
mate.
And it's I've surprised myself
Yeah.
because I was such a mental raver, just always at my nut. Like any drug there was, I was like he's 10 of them all the time, always chasing it.
Escapism, yeah.
Aye, just fucking always tripping, like on mushies, acid, DMT, the lot, all of that shit. I was a wee guy, do you know what I mean? And then becoming sober, like that the comedy's like my only thing I've got left to get that natural fucking ecky buzz.
Yeah.
Aye.
Yeah.
And that's my new drug. Do you know what I mean? So it's like it's just chasing that buzz
No,
again.
that's good.
I think it's so good as well, the fact that like what that new buzz you're looking for it's not just you that gets that buzz. You're giving something
You're
to so
giving
many
something
people.
back.
That's massive.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
As aye, when you look at it like that, mate, definitely, man. Because at the end of the day, what I look for in a gig like is I want to look at the crowd and I want to see their eyes lighten up.
Yeah.
I want to see them be like, what's he going to say next? And I get that. And
Yeah.
there's times I don't get that.
Yeah.
Right? There's times cunts are like, no, you want to look at me.
Aye, like,
right?
oh,
Like, oh, fuck.
don't look at the funny man.
Oh, what's he saying? And then people just start talking amongst themselves. That's when it's
hate
gone
that
bad,
shit.
right?
Aye.
But I want to see people like, and then laughing. That's when I see that and I feel that, then that's when I get the buzz. That's when I walk away thinking, that's the comedian I want to be. That's the way I want to be on the stage all the time. That's the mode, the kind of flow state I want to get into. Do you know what I mean?
Works.
Aye.
The motion you want to get into.
Aye.
Yeah.
The flow motion, mate.
The
Yes.
flow motion.
I guess though, if you didn't have those shitters, the good ones wouldn't mean fuck all.
Aye, well that's it.
Do you know what I mean?
That,
So-
I think as I was saying in the Vibe Room when I was doing that, running the club in there, I gave myself a space to bomb.
Yeah.
Every week I was up there trying new shit, stuff that was never like, not even like fleshed out jokes, just like ideas, stuff that I think's funny, stuff that I think, well, oh, that's massive, that makes me laugh. But a lot of the time I was bombing.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And that really, really brought me out my shell. Got me talking to the audience.
Great,
And then I
yeah.
started getting excited to talk to the audience. Then I was like talking to everybody in the audience. I remember Viv came to see us one night in the Tennent's bar and for Tennent's Laughter Lounge, and I hosted, and I felt so good doing it. It was a full room and I knew, you're doing a good when you're on stage. Everything's working, and Viv said that was brilliant, that was amazing. She's like, but you don't need to talk to everybody in the audience. She's like that because people be like, right, oh fuck, she's 2 or 3 people. But I was just like, all right, so what do you do? What do you do? Right, just I was just pure getting carried away with it.
Blew Peter in the fuck out of it.
Aye, man, do you know what I mean, mate? But honestly, like, I love it, and I've always been stupid, silly Mikey, outgoing, but it's a mask.
Ah, yeah, of course.
It's a big
it is.
mask, right? And I think I realised that when I became sober.
Yeah.
And I started to get severe stage fright, man.
Oh, I can imagine.
Like, big time. And like panic attack.
Yeah.
No wanting to do it and forgetting the reason why I'm doing it.
Yeah.
Like thinking, getting that voice in my head saying, what are you doing this for? You're shite at this, you're not good enough. All that shit. And then going up on the stage and then doing a good job and then getting the buzz, like, yeah, this is why I'm doing it. But it's that voice that is horrible.
Yeah, bro.
And it was getting bad. It was getting worse and worse and worse. And then eventually I said, right, that's enough. For something that I love doing so much, why am I putting myself through this?
Yeah.
So I always had the idea of getting hypnotised.
Nice.
So there was when I was working in the Vibe Room, there was a wee woman, Myra, who worked in the bar, and we were talking about it. She always says, she's like, when you go up there, she's like, you just look dead natural, and I was like, but I'm shiting it.
Yes.
She's like, but you don't see that. I was like, well, that's good,
yes.
but I want to get rid of the fucking feeling. And she said years ago she worked in a big company in London, and she's a wee tiny woman, and she's working with all these men. It was a full factory full of men, right?
Yeah.
And she was like a manager, and she was scared to talk to people, scared to talk. And she said that she go, somebody says you should see a hypnotist, and she went to this hypnotist, and she got hypnotised. And then the next day, right, you do this, you do that. She was just, and she said you should try it. So that was always in the back of my head. Now at the fringe, just there, I was flying up and down the grass market.
Yeah.
And there was a guy and his wife coming towards me, and I was just trying to be funny. I was like, you should come see the show. And he was like, we're actually got to see a hypnotist. And I says, hypnotists are shite. I was like, I'll hypnotise you now, come on. And he's like, I'm actually a hypnotist myself. I was like, sorry mate. He's like, no, don't worry. And then he said to me, just was looking at me, and he was like, have you ever thought about getting hypnotised? And I said, I've been thinking about it.
Yeah.
Gave me his card.
Nice.
And I was like, cool.
Fucking mate, a hypnotist, bro. What kind of fucking mad mystical places do you hang
Right?
out?
Do you know what I mean, mate?
It is Edinburgh.
It is Edinburgh. But
Motherfucker wears a wizard's
I
hat.
actually fucking believe that this was supposed to happen.
Right.
Bump into this guy, right? Because it was actually for Hamilton, which isn't too far for Cambuslang,
Not
right?
at all.
It's just close to me, aye.
And
Right next to my hometown.
there we
East
go.
Kilbride.
East Kilbride, yeah, hate it. Right,
Oh,
right, no,
yeah,
kidding on.
so do
I thought I smelled chlamydia. Right, you know, I'm kidding. I'm for Cambuslang, that's how you can smell heroin. Right, it's fine. Right, so I met this guy, right, and he gave me his card, and I think it was a Sunday night. That was a Saturday. I was sitting in my bed on a Sunday night looking at the card, and I was like, I'm gonna give this guy a message.
Yeah.
I messaged him. I says, when are you free? He's like, tomorrow morning. So I had a gig in Edinburgh Monday during the day.
Yeah.
He's like, come. And I was like, right, okay. So I went up, sceptical, but also open
Okay.
to it. And he was like, have a wee seat here. He was like, have you been hypnotised before? No, all this stuff. I had to fill a form in, form. Are you schizophrenic? I don't know, maybe.
Probably.
All this mad shit, right?
Aye.
And he says, just take a seat. And he was like, right, I want you to think the planet Mars. And I'm like, right. I had my eyes shut. He's like, now what can you see? And I was like, I can see Mars. And he's like, are you on it or can you see it? I said, I can see it, but I'm on it now. So I've always had a mad mental vivid imagination anyway,
Yeah.
right? So I'm walking, but he's like, what can you see? And I was like, I can see a shop. And he's like, go in it. And I walked in it, and he was like, now when I'm saying this back, I feel like it kind of happened.
Okay.
Like from my memory.
Yeah, I can imagine.
It's like the way I'm telling you is exactly the way it was,
It
right?
happened, yeah.
He's like, what do you see? I see a shop. And I said, what kind of shop is it? It's like a normal shop. It's like a Nisa or something, which is weird because we're on Mars.
Can I quickly, has he inducted you by this point? Like, has he put you under?
No.
No, so he's
No,
just talking
he's just
to you?
talking to me.
Right.
Don't know if he's done anything,
Like
any
just-
wee subliminal things yet, but he's just getting me. I think he's just trying to see if it's going to work,
Yeah,
how
testing
my
you,
imagination works.
Sure.
And if you're willing to go for it.
Yes. So he's then said, what do you see now? I said, well, there's a mad alien standing at the counter. And I said, and he said, what's he got? And I said, a Mars bar. Right? And he said, right, come back. He's like, usually when I ask people that think of Mars, and I say, what can you see? They just say, a Mars bar.
Yeah.
Right? So he's like, I can tell this is probably going to work with you.
Aye.
Nice.
Right?
You found a spar on Mars spar.
There you go. Do you know what I mean? So He got me on the bed, then he shagged me. No, never. Look into my eyes. Right, no. He got me on the bed and he was like, right, I want you to put your hands together like that. And he started like, doing this windy thing and my hands were locked. He was going through all this stuff, wanting you to relax your whole body, relax. I did feel as if I was melting into the bed, right?
Like 2CB again.
Like 2CB, baby. Right, I miss it. I'm choking for man the new.
Good times.
Good times. But basically, he took me to, he's like, I want you to find a happy place where you feel that you're happy and nothing bad can happen. It turns out my happy place is a place called Mushroom Mansion is a place where me and my mates went every year and just took everything for the whole weekend, like just all the psychedelics. And there was a big garden at the back.
Right.
Plants, fucking nice flowers, just a big field. And then that's where I ended up. I ended up there and I'm like, well, cool, that's my happy place then.
Nice.
And he was getting me to think all the negative shit before gigs and he was getting me like to feel it and then just let it go. And then he says, I want you to turn round now and there's a big door, you see, and above the door it says control panel. I want you to walk in that door. I walked in that door and he said, now in this room there's a wee seat. Everywhere you look there's fucking computer screens, big levers, everything. And he said, this is a control panel to your mind, right? So I was like, okay. And he's like, I want you to get the anxiety lever, pull it right down, put a padlock on it. And he said, I'm going to leave you in this room for like 5-10 minutes and everything that you want to disappear and stop feeling, pull it down and lock it down. And then I want you to put your confidence up as far as it can go, padlock it, all the good stuff, all that. All other stuff happened, but when I came out it, I was buzzing, mate. I was fucking buzzing. I couldn't stop smiling. I was rubbing my hands, kept doing that. And I wanted to just run home. I wanted to run to Edinburgh to go to my gig. He's like, how do you feel? How do you feel for your gig? I'm like, I can't wait. I can't fucking wait to go on the stage. It was mental and it's fucking helped so much.
And has that lasted?
Aye, mate.
Can you give me his card?
Aye, mate. I'll give you his number. Aye.
We'll get him on the fucking podcast.
I'd
yeah.
definitely get him on, mate.
Because I'm a big Dead and Brown fan.
Oh,
Big Dead and Brown fan. So
Yeah.
I've got like
Yeah.
a self-induction book in there and all sorts. Like,
aye.
I love that
I've
shit.
Paul McKenna's been trying to lose weight for me for years. Fucking cunt.
But it works for it. But he did say to me, he said, look, and see, even before I went and done that, I was trying to do shit like that myself. Meditations, like fucking guided meditations and all that stuff. But he said to me, he's like, look, I didn't do that for you there. You done that. I just guided you. That's how powerful your mind is.
100%.
Like you can close shit off. You really can, man.
I'll give you an example. I did see I think what he did, a very simpler version of the hand locking technique. No, it wasn't. It was a hand raising. See when you can get it, it's like the balloon and then the weight.
Yeah,
and it does that. So I did that. I did it with my mum, and it worked for her.
Yep.
And then I tried it with my stepdad, and it didn't work with him. And he was like, I was just saying the whole time to myself, oh, I don't want to do this. And I was like, exactly, that's the whole thing, because it's not me trying to magic you. It's trying to bring your subconscious into your conscious and override it.
Mate. You need to be open to it. You need to want it to happen.
That's what a lot of people get scared of, like getting handshake inductions. Like, trust me, that's like 0.1% of the population can do it, and one of them's on TV. That's about it.
Aye.
Trust me,
You know
fine.
where he is.
Aye, we're sound. We're sound. But no, that's awesome. I'm so glad. Like,
no, it really has helped, and it's like a weird thing now that every time I start to feel there's nothing wrong with nerves.
No,
but it's when they're crippling you.
Yeah.
To the fact that you don't want to do it, that's when there's a problem, right? When you're not enjoying it, you're like, right, I'm feeling so shit now to go and do this gig, and I know I'm going to feel good after it if I do well.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to come back down again. So there was a point I was like, I need to try this, and now whenever I feel that wee bit of nervousness, I'm back in that control panel. Every time it instantly takes me right back, girl, and I'm thinking that's done. My confidence is up. What am I talking about? And it just switches It just switches it, and I feel, right, I'm ready for this.
That's so fucking interesting.
Oh, honest to God, mate, I'm so glad I done it. And it, like I said, when I met the guy, Craig his name is, when I met him, I was like, that was supposed to happen.
Yeah.
It really was. Like, bump in, just because see if I didn't bump into him, I still wouldn't have been to a hypnotist.
Yeah.
I just wouldn't have done it. That's came to me, and it's just happened, and then I've went and done it, and it worked for me.
That's so interesting, mate. I'd love to try it.
You should
Would
try it,
love
mate.
to try it.
Honestly, it's worth.
My dad did it to stop smoking,
Right.
and he was saying the same. Since he came out there, and he was like, he came out and he wanted to go and fucking jump a wall like a 12-year-old.
Aye, man.
You know, I was like, what the fuck?
Honest to God, there's something in it. I don't know what it is, but I was literally. He said to, I sat in he's like, you can't stop doing that, can you? I says, no. And he's like, you're going to start laughing now. And I just pure couldn't stop laughing.
I'd fucking hate that as a friend,
Right?
man.
And I was like, what the fuck, man? And then it was like, my uncle went to get hypnotised for, this is back in the 90s, to stop smoking, and it worked for him. And then anytime somebody says, you want a fag? He's like, no, I don't smoke, mate.
Aye.
That's what he's like, no, I don't smoke.
It's as simple as that.
Aye, mental,
That's
man.
mad.
That's crazy.
The
as
mind
fuck.
is amazing.
It's so powerful. Aye. Fuck. That's I didn't expect us to start talking about that. That's
Sorry,
so cool.
mate, I've
No,
took us
don't
off
apologise.
track.
No, you haven't at
This has
all.
been such an interesting fucking conversation.
I know,
dude.
man.
I enjoyed this a lot.
So when was it you did that?
That was August. That was like
So that's very.
aye, no
This
long
year?
ago. Aye.
So
just-
have you noticed your like all your? I'm not even going to just say your stand-up, but your creative career impacting positively because of it, or since then?
Since then, I would say aye.
Aye. Even like your productivity and shit.
Aye, definitely. Like, I'm a big procrastinator, right?
me
Always
too.
have been, and even with writing, like, it's the sitting down to date part.
Yeah.
It's daunting to me, and I'm like, I can't be bothered. But see, when I start doing it, I enjoy it so much.
Me too. It's the same with the podcast.
I enjoy it so much, and then I'm sitting laughing at myself, like, oh, that man. Because there's another character I do. I don't know if you've seen the Sausage King videos.
I haven't. I'll try and find it.
So it's done. Aye.
I'm very excited.
So it's
Me
like
too.
he's a rapper, he's a gangster. He basically punts sausages, every type of sausage meat, but it's like I took like he's not right in the head. So
Where did you upload it to?
So they're all on YouTube.
Okay.
Put on the sausage. In fact, put on the Sausage King rap. And that'll give you an idea.
Right.
Sausage King. Sausage Gangster.
Just before.
Sausage Gangster Rap.
Sausage King. Just type in the Sausage King. Mikey Motion.
King.
So this is a character that I kind of made up. Alright, so go to the Sausage Gangster, the third one down. Right.
Mate, I'm loving the tune.
This is after Bergie Boy with the camera quality.
Aye, yeah. So I made this tune with my pal and rapped in it, and see, just like making that the music for it and sitting with my mate in his wee studio, like, see that whole night we were just like laughing so much, man.
Yeah, man.
Like proper fucking like writing the lyrics and then try to fucking rap them, and like it's just how stupid that character is. Like,
Brilliant.
so basically, it all started with me going to the shops one day and buying a packet of Mathis and sausages, just a packet, and I walked out of the shop and I feeling a wee bit that day, and I was like, I'm not a fucking crackhead, you know, picking up a bit of gear, but it's just sausages. I just with that a wee idea, I started writing episodes of the Sausage King. So he's selling sausages as if it's like square sausage is like fucking like coke,
Amazing.
right? Like fucking bacon is like heroin, like, all that stuff. And so I was like, right, I need to do him live now.
Yeah.
So I done him. I've done it about 4 or 5 times live, but see, I had the episodes, which is like just all different, you know, wee jokes in there. I done one where I rob a wee Willy Winky van. It's like a Vice special, so it's like it's just me. Like if you might see it, but it's like so I was writing all that stuff and I was enjoying it, but I thought, right, the character, that's the one there, aye. So like the character is. I'll let you watch a wee bit of that.
Sausage King, I think it wants to be your mucker, not a wee wants to be your pal. Because you're packing the beef, packing the sausages every cut out showroom something. Obviously, to be the biggest sausage dealer in Glasgow, the UK, moving on to different parts of the world, it takes a lot of organisation. Or I sin, that's Italian. Trying to get after ages, everybody's been asking about it. It's going to be a bit more pricey though. Square I get in for the dam. Alright, that's a half. It's a half lot, man. Could probably get rid of that for about 3-4 grand now. For a quick price, I'd probably take 2.5. But distribute it up, that's going to give me about 6-7 grand back. 7 G's, Italian sausages, man. Would you just fucking say to me? Say that again. Do you sell bacon? It's carrot my fucking face. Fucking carrot. Put my face up. Sorry about that. Whilst I get through the voice for the bacon, I don't like talking about it. I just lose my fucking heat. You know what I mean? Fucking, honestly, man. Obviously, I'm the brains behind the operation, so.
Oh man, no, we'll stop it there. Olivia.
So
see the rest on his YouTube.
So basically, with the writing sort of, what I'm trying to get to is with the writing sort of thing. So I had already made them, and I thought, right, I need to make this a stage show now.
Yeah.
So I had to come up with material, and I had to come up with some sort of gimmick of how's it going to be funny, like how, you know, if people's not seen the character before, how's it going to work. So what I done was I was in the Classic Grand, so I done the sort of I walked it to the Sausage King tune, that the video was in the background, and I rapped that,
Right,
and then I went into it, and it was basically me. It was I was like, I'm going to read out the first chapter of my autobiography, just like mixing the words up and that shit, and it was just like me talking about being in the jail with Nelson Mandela as my co-pilot, and just hundreds of stupid shit but hundreds of jokes in there.
Aye.
And I done it and it worked, but see, for a good few months before the show, I was like, I need to come up with something.
Yeah.
And I kept putting it off, but see, when I sat down to do it and started writing it, it's not even me at this point, it's the Sausage King.
Aye.
It's the Sausage King that's writing it. What does he say? His voice in mind, I'm like, fucking, know what I mean? When I was 9, I was the UK's #1 Prince tribute act. Purple Wayne, know what I mean? I didn't write that joke, he wrote that joke. Well to God.
That's amazing.
So there's so much shit, like, and then when I sat down, it was just all flowing through me, and I'm like, I'm fucking enjoying this.
Yes.
I put it down, I put it away, and then again back to, I can't be bothered writing. And I think like the way I write is an idea will come in my head, or something funny, it'll just come in and it'll make me laugh.
Aye.
And I'll be like, right, and then I'll post it on Facebook, and then if it gets a good reaction, then I'll write round about it.
Yeah.
Class.
But with the
Frame it.
Aye, frame it, aye.
Yeah.
But with the hypnosis, with hypnosis, with that, it definitely has helped me with that sort of stuff. Like even just like looking forward to gigs instead of feeling like that. I mean, all I'm doing is I'm getting up and talking to people.
Aye.
They're not going to see me again. Hopefully they want to come back and see me again. But who cares? Who cares? Do you know what I mean? If I'm bombing, then I'll just fucking die my arse and just
Aye.
accept it and learn from it.
Yeah, it's part of
Do you
the
know,
process.
as part of it, you need to fucking die in your ass like a million times before you get fucking really good and really comfortable on stage. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
I'm at the dying in my arse stage of my career, and I
Me
look,
too.
I look forward to
Nah,
doing that a few times
you
and
just need
enjoying
to do it, mate. You
Yeah.
just honestly, you just really need to. You really need to just keep doing it.
Just bite into it and enjoy it.
Aye.
Yeah.
Well, before we wrap this up, have you got anything you want to punt
Aye.
other than meat?
Aye. Get the sausages, man.
Fucking expensive Italian
Get me Wally
sausages.
Winkies. Good Wally Winkies.
Aye.
You know what I mean? These things will make you think you've got a dog that you've not even got. Right? Fucking sit in your house all night, clap your dog. Like, I haven't even got a dog. Whose dog is this? Right, so follow me on Mikey Motion Facebook, Mikey Motion Instagram, YouTube, Mikey Collins Facebook. Gig wise, when would this go out?
Mid-December.
Mid-December, right, cool. So 22nd of December, Classic Grand, Laugh in the Dark.
Nice.
Also my Glasgow Comedy Festival shows have been announced, and Tennent's Bar's a show called Healthy. It's a kind of mixture between my Fringe show, Sober. It's like a hybrid between that and just new stuff and just a better show.
That sounds class, man.
So that is the 29th of March on 9 PM, and then on the Saturday I'm doing the same show, and it's going to be 6 PM on the Saturday. You can get the tickets in my Linktree and Instagram, and just I follow me and you'll see me posting stuff.
Yeah, did
Stuff like that.
100%.
Awesome, man. Thank you so much for coming on. That
Guys,
was fucking awesome.
Cheers, it's been a pleasure. Really nice to see yous.
You too,
Nice
man.
to get a good laugh with yous. I love this. I'm buzzing now. I feel as if I've done a gig.
Oh,
Yeah,
absolutely.
wee buzz.
Aye, I'll get a buzz. I'll be buzzing. I'll be
You're welcome on anytime. We'll
Listen,
probably get you on next year and
anytime.
punt some shit.
Of course, mate.
Some meeting gigs.
Thanks very much for having us, boys.
No, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, dude.
Thank you.
Cheers.